Yes, indeed, this is Professor David Steinberg talking to you about the anti-Trump protesters. Protesters is not my term. That's the media's term. I would describe them as the correct term, thugs. Now, and these people, as the title points out, they have the mindset of a 3-year-old. Now, what you parents out there, let's say you have a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, a young child, and they don't get their way on about what to watch on TV, about whatever. They don't get their way. What do? What do? They throw a temper tantrum, right? They throw a temper tantrum. They yell, they scream, they pick up their toys and throw them around the room. That's what you expect out of a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. And that's apparently what we should expect out of this portion of the Democratic Party, this part of the Democratic Party that engage in these protests. Now, of course, I'm not saying everybody who votes Democrat has the mind of a 4-year-old. I'm not saying, or everyone who's a liberal has a mind of a 4-year-old. These people do, though. What kind of misconduct did they engage in? Because, they're protesting. Let's start there. They're protesting what? That Donald Trump won? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You know, there aren't any allegations. Nobody in the Democratic Party, to the best of my knowledge, has made any kind of allegations about any kind of misconduct in terms of election fraud or voting machines. Remember all that hysteria before the election? Russia was going to steal the election or some such nonsense. I haven't heard any allegations like that. So what are they protesting exactly? That their candidate didn't win? Well, the reason their candidate didn't win, one of the reasons is this kind of misconduct, which I'll get to in a minute. Their candidate didn't win? Then you should have. Did you work for Hillary Clinton? If you did not, you should have got off your lazy butt and worked for her. If you did work for her, you should have worked harder. Then maybe she would have won. That's your fault. Don't go blaming someone else for it. It's your fault. And so what kind of form, and if you want to have a protest, if you're very unhappy and you want to express your unhappiness about a President Trump, fine. Almost any of these urban areas where these protests took place have parks. There's Washington Square Park in New York. It's a great big park right down in the Greenwich Village area, holds hundreds, probably thousands of people. And then there's Central Park, which is huge. Have your protest there. You could do that in any city. But that's not what these people want to do. They want to disrupt things, and they want to make other people's lives miserable. There's the 3-year-old, right? The 3-year-old isn't going to just, quietly sit in their room. They're going to throw a temper tantrum. In Los Angeles, these people blocked Interstate 5, the big highway that runs through town, for several hours. Well, what about the person is sitting in a car on Highway 5 who has to get to work, who can't get to work on time because their car is stuck because of this protest, and they get fired? What do you say to them? This person didn't do anything to you. For all you know, they probably voted for your candidate, Hillary Clinton. The majority of Californians voted for Hillary Clinton. What about the mother sitting on Highway 5 who's worked all day and has to get home to her kids? She has young kids home alone, and she has to get home, and she can't because you wanted to throw your little temper tantrum on the freeway. What do you say to her? But again, you see, these are rational, logical arguments I'm making. And you can't make logical, rational arguments to a 3-year-old, as any parent knows. In New York, in Oakland, it gets even better. The quote-unquote protesters originally blocked traffic. They then threw objects at police and riot gear. Hey, that's pretty cool. Burned trash in the middle of an intersection. And smashed storefront windows. These stores where you smash the windows. What the hell did the store owner ever do to you? Nothing. Oakland is a heavily Democratic city. Odds are this store owner voted Democrat, voted for Hillary Clinton. Hopefully they've wised up now and won't make that mistake again. But you throw bricks through their window? What the hell is with this? And then you have this woman who's the spokesman, essentially, for the Oakland Police Department saying, we want to have a conversation with these people, the brick throwers. The only conversation I want to have involves handcuffs and taking them down and arresting them and convicting them and putting them in jail for a while so they can learn the adult lesson that consequences matter. You want to know why your candidate, you protesters, and again, I hate the term, you thugs, you want to know why your candidate Hillary Clinton lost? Because people are sick of this nonsense. Yeah, I'm going to vote Democrat. I want to vote for the party that supports people who go around throwing bricks through windows. I want to vote for the party of people who throw bricks through windows, who are going to throw bricks through the windows of my apartment and then come in there and loot the place. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to vote for that party. Doesn't really make much sense, does it? And people are sick of this. Decent, law-abiding people are sick of this. You want to have a real, legitimate, responsible protest? Go to a park. Get all of your protesters there and have speeches and rally and act responsibly. That's fine. But again, the mind of these liberals works like a 3-year-old. And I'm making rational arguments, rational adult arguments to somebody with a mind like a 3-year-old. And it's not going to work. You can't reason with these people. I don't know what to do. And that's the problem. What do we do now? Well, for starters, we get somebody in the Attorney General's office and the President's office, and we do have someone in the President's office and the Attorney General's office who's going to treat these situations the way they should be treated, which is they're not going to put up with this nonsense anymore. You guys have your last big looting party. This is hopefully coming to an end, and coming to an end with if you're going to throw a brick through somebody's window, you're going to spend a good long time in jail thinking about it. But again, thinking about it with the mind of a 3-year-old. So, I don't know. But the fact that these people are these quote-unquote protesters are enabled by academia, by the media, and let's be honest now, by the executive office, by the office of the president. It's a disgrace. And to any officer that was hurt, any storekeeper whose store was damaged, any person whose lives were upended because some liberal 3-year-old wanted to throw a temper tantrum, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. This is Professor David Steinberg.